Cayman is falling behind on renewable energy. So says Greentech Group CEO James Whitaker. While he stopped short of giving the country a failing grade on its efforts to supplement fossil fuels, he says more action is needed at the highest levels to catch up with neighbors like Aruba. But as Cayman 27's Joe Avery shows us, government says going green is still a tough sell for those who already struggle with energy costs.
I think if I look at Cayman and was to give it a grade in regards to sustainability and renewable energy, I'd give it a D.
Cayman's report card doesn't look too good to Greentech Group CEO James Whitaker.
We've got a long way to go. I mean, we're still at less than 1% renewable energy in this country. And I don't think you can give yourself a good grade if you've been pursuing renewable energy as a country for over 7 years now. And you are less than.
Mr. Whitaker says Cayman should be a leader in the region, not trailing behind. He thinks some of our country's decision makers are missing the boat.
I do think there are some people who would be adopting more renewable energy, but I don't think that's coming from the highest levels, and that's where it needs to be.
But right here from the 5th floor of the LEED certified government administration building, Premier Alden McLaughlin sees the push for renewable energy in a different light.
It's not that the government isn't paying attention to this, but the government is very, very aware and understands full well what the reaction of the average person is going to be if we try to sell them something that is actually going to drive up the cost of living.
Mr. McLaughlin says at today's prices, going green would likely end up costing customers 30 to 40% more than fossil fuels.
Would they prefer that, or would they prefer to, for the time being, to stay with the system we have? Because that's where we are.
We're definitely getting left behind, and we're going to pay a heavy price for it if we don't try and catch up.
Too expensive to implement for now, says government, but Mr. Whitaker says there soon will come a tipping point where sticking with the status quo could cost the country money and politicians their jobs.
I think if there are politicians who don't have renewable energy as one of their key agenda items and don't really plan to address it going into the next election, it's going to cost them.
Joe Avery, Cayman 27.
Mr. Whitaker says the Cayman Renewable Energy Association hopes to make renewable energy a key topic in the run-up to the 2017 elections.